Yam Shaiva Samupasate Shivaiti Brahmeti Vedantino Bauddha Buddha iti Pramana Padava Karteti Nayyaiga Arhan Nityatha Jaina Shasanarada Karmeti Mimamsaka Soyamvo Vidadhatu Vanchita Phalam Trailokyanato Harihi Soyamvo Vidadhatu Vanchita Phalam Trailokyanato Harihi Harihi Om Harihi Om Harihi. Now, as usual, we shall recite in chorus 3 times the auspicious monosyllable. Keep your hands, fingers interlocked and put them on the lap. Sit reasonably erect without troubling you. Then close your eyes, open the mouth as well as the heart. Join me. Ask yourselves, did everybody participate? If not, all of you will and should. Harihi Om Tas Jai Guru. Yesterday you certainly had an exposure to this unique text called Ashtavakra Samhita or Ashtavakra Gita. It's a kind of a conversation, a dialogue that took place between the great knower of truth, Janaka Maharaja, the Emperor Janaka of Mithila of India, and Ashtavakra, a great sage. I already introduced you to the text, also gave you an introduction about how the dialogue came to be transpired between the two in the open assembly of the king himself, where the most distinguished scholars of the time were present. You will find that the practice of Brahma Vidya or God knowledge certainly asks for some prerequisites. These requisites are called sadhana chatushtayam. I am not going to elaborate them. For the study and pursuit of this godly science or self-science or the reality science, I have written a book in which it is called Reality and the Means to Trace It. That is actually a science by itself. It has to be done by the human personality. To some extent the senses on the body are involved. Then the mouth is involved as an instrument for articulation. Then we have the thinking and emotional mind to be purified, sublimated and integrated. And finally we have to sharpen and purify and make it more and more perceptive, our intelligence. So it is a wholesome, whole personality development and pursuit. This chatushtaya means four. 4 prerequisites are there. One is the ability to discriminate between the real and the unreal. The entire world is perishable. Everything is getting destroyed and everything is changeful, including our own body, mind and intelligence. As a contrast to this, there must be something imperishable and non-evanescent. You must be able to distinguish between the two, the first prerequisite. The second is a kind of a strong dispassion towards the perishable things of the world and a craving for something imperishable. The third consists of a number of virtues, restraints and disciplines. The fourth is a burning aspiration to become free in your mind, heart and intelligence. Now here, Ashtavakra also speaks about a set of virtues and excellences. Janaka's question was, how can supreme knowledge, spiritual wisdom be acquired? When will moksha or liberation result? When shall we get rid of the shackles of the mind and the intelligence and become free, classically free, so to say? Then how can dispassion be cultivated? Then instantly, Ashtavakra Maharshi answers him saying that, Muktim ichchasi chettata vishayan vishavatyaja Kshama Arjava Daya Tosha Satyam piyushavad bhaja. If you are an aspirant of spiritual knowledge and liberation, understand the way for you, the domain for you is not outside, but inside your body. So whatever is outside, you disregard them and discard them as if they were poison. Then the question arises, what is nectar? The nectar lies within your body in the field of your mind. It is verily nectar when you take to adopt and pursue a set of 5 virtues and embellishments. Kshama Arjava Daya Tosha Satyam piyushavad bhaja. There are 5 virtues, he says. These are the nectar for you. And they are available to your mind. You have to install them, pursue them, perfect them, possess them, and be enriched by them. So they become inner personality enrichments and embellishments. This is what you have, what you want to have. So there are 2 items here. The external world, however alluring and fascinating the world objects are, all of them are only corroding your senses. Am I clear? You go on seeing a very pleasant object. As you see, the eye muscles, everything is getting tired. You have to blink your eyes frequently to make them fresh. So every sensory enjoyment or indulgence is corroding in its effect. Am I right or not? Anything. If you go on speaking, you will become tired. If you go on walking, you will become tired. If you go on eating, dangerous. Everything is corrosive. Let's understand. Then what is that non-corrosive possession, enjoyment or practice that is within your mind? So in the mind level, you have to cultivate a set of 5 virtues or embellishments. And they are the nectar. And all the outside things are poison, he says. So the option before you is quite clear. What is the option? Choose the inner factors and get away from, if at all, not be proximate to them, get a little distance from the outer things. It is not an option, it is a compulsion. The seeker has no option before you. I am wondering whether you have. Do you have any option? Huh? You are not answering me openly. See the stealth in you. It's a stealth. It's a reluctance. Whenever something is exposed to you, at least in the lecture hall, can you not say yes or no properly? So there is no option. It's a compulsion, unconditional and instantaneous. What are the qualities of the mind and the intelligence? Every quality or enrichment in the human personality belongs to and relates to the mind and the intelligence. Whenever you speak of religion, metaphysics, philosophy, spirituality and yoga, understand it very clearly. Any value worth mentioning, any value worth pursuing, everything relates to the human mind and the human intelligence. See, we have founded an institution called Foundation for the Restoration of National Values in India. It's a kind of an institution which proposes to work in a very high level, in league with the parliamentarian members, the members of the executive and the members of the judiciary, to bring about sublime and salutary changes and improvements in the working of the governance and therefore the plight and the fate of the people. When describing the national values, I was very particular that no value should be mentioned or related to God or religion. All the values should be independently discussed, described and debated upon, presented before the people. Every value worthy of itself, you will find when properly explained, relates to the mind and relates to the intelligence. When a value is properly presented, you will find it will instantly evoke a twofold response from the hearer or the reader. What is the twofold response? An emotional persuasion and a rational compulsion. Emotional persuasion from the mind and a rational compulsion from the intelligence. If a value is properly explained, I will tell you any value whatsoever. When you hear it, you cannot oppose it. You cannot resist it. You may say, I will take time to practice it. But the value is a value. An individual has got value, family has got value, the social segment has, the nation has, the globe has, the universe and ecological sphere also has values. So value is not an option at all, it is a compulsion. Now here we are speaking of 5 values. What are they? Kshama, Arjava, Daya, Tosha, Satyam, Piyushavad, Bhaja. Kshama means patience, tolerance and forbearance. Our present children lack this particular quality. Try to inculcate in them. Even as they are children, make them sit in a place. Sit. At least for 25 minutes or half an hour. That itself is a value. That alone will inculcate in them the quality of tolerance and forbearance. You are an individual. You are always interacting with a number of others. And the world consists of an ample and an astounding variety. You may have a certain nature and the others also will have their respective natures. So we are always in conflict with the others or in variance with the others. In all this variance, unless you have the power of tolerating, forbearing and assimilating the others and their natures, you will never be able to progress at all. So the real quality for success in any individual is the extent of tolerance and forbearance he is able to cultivate. This is called Kshama. Shankara would put it very nicely. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apradhikara purvagam chinta vilaparahidam sa tidiksha nigadyade. Any extent of misery you must be able to tolerate, forbear and dissolve in your own mind. There is no misery at all in your life except what and when the mind produces it. Do you agree or disagree? I dislike him. I dislike him. The dislike belongs to him or to you? Huh? Why you are keeping quiet? When you dislike something or somebody, the dislike belongs to you or to the object. So whose problem is dislike? And you must be able to tolerate and forbear it. So you cannot always work with a liking situation. You must be prepared to do what you dislike, and you must be prepared not to do what you like. If you can be flexible and assimilative about your likes and dislikes, then you are a successful person. Never feel that I will always do what I like. You must be able to do what you dislike. Maybe you like some things a little cold and your married partner does not like, then what will you do? You will abandon her and get hold of another. It is not possible at all. So all kinds of misery and affliction we must be able to treat, dissolve and assimilate in our system. This kind of a preparedness and a striving for this purpose, this is called Kshama or tolerance. Arjava is another quality. It simply means simpleness and straightforwardness. When I read about it in Calcutta in my Purvashrama life, I was wondering, straightforwardness, this is what all of us are hearing, we want to be. But why is it put as a spiritual quality? Yes, it has to be put. I don't think many of you are straightforward. Even when I ask you questions, you are not answering me. If you are straightforward, you should answer me, say yes or no. You will hear it and then keep quiet. So is it straightforwardness? You may have some view, either yes or no. Whether affirmative or negative, you must be able to express it. Why are you not able to express it? That non-straightforwardness is responsible. Be honest, say what you are, say what you have in mind. One question, one answer. Quite all right? So that Arjava, straightforwardness, is something very, very important. Why is this Arjava so much stressed? Because we lose our sincerity, openness and straightforwardness as we grow older and older. As a child, the child will say, I don't like you, I will not come, I will not eat, etc. Get angry anywhere, whenever he wants. But as he grows, you will find he is subject to a number of inhibitions and constraints. Now we must be able to get rid of all these things and be straightforward, simple and clean. A clean-slated person we should be. Daya means compassion and kindness. In the world there are a number of sites, a number of instances, a number of activities, responses, behavioral pattern, in a group, in a society, in the government, anywhere and everywhere. Understand, be compassionate to them. Never ridicule or disclaim. It is my society that is bad. It's an individual belonging to my society that is bad. So it is my society, so I cannot disclaim it. Have compassion for him. Never hatred, never dislike. You may disapprove of a number of traits, but you cannot dislike or disclaim anybody who has it. Am I clear or not? Yes. Huh? Yes. Be straightforward. Then Tosha means contentment. Contentment is a quality, an emotion belonging to the mind. If you have the mind, train the mind to be contented. You cannot wait for smiling till all the things in this world are all right. We must be able to smile at everything, anything whatsoever. Contentment, contentment. See, one sight is clinging to me. In the World Cricket World Club, that world meeting, ultimately a team lost. One of the members of the losing cricket team, he was lying flat on the ground, not for 1 or 2 minutes, but several minutes. See, in the cricket, if you want somebody to win, somebody has to lose. Either you lose or you gain. So in losing, what is the wrong? If your role is not necessary, let one team play cricket alone. They need another game or another team also. So when you have lost, you should be able to appreciate the victory of the other. That is called the sportful spirit. Instead of that, the man is lying flat on the ground, as if the heavens have fallen. What is this? Again he can play and he may win. So many times teams have lost and so many times they have won also. What is there special about it? Is there any game when success to one and failure to another both do not take place concurrently? If there is a summer, there is a winter, there is a rainy season. If there is a day, there is a night. All these are alternates and pairs of opposites. So we must be able to remain contented. You may have been sorry for something in the morning. Do not carry the sorrow and go on sulking in. What is this? Morning, a few minutes you were sorrowful. After that you get to your routine, read some comic if you want and start smiling. That contentment should be there. When you understand the nature of the world and the necessity for living at home in harmony with nature, with the world, automatically the contentment, lightness of the heart, poise of the intelligence, they start gracing you. Then Satyam, truthfulness, incorruptibility. You must be truthful. When I ask you a question, how many answers will the question have? When I ask you what is your name, how many answers are there? Have you had your meals? How many children do you have? Are you married? Where are you working? All these questions have only one answer. People say people are not truthful. Without truthfulness, can the world survive? I am asking you. You get into a bus and on the board it is said it goes to Brickfield. Okay, you get into the bus and they take you there. Suppose the board is wrong or the driver does something wrong. Can you ever carry on? You go to a railway station or to an airport, pay the money, get the ticket. You have given X amount of money. He has received it. He gives you the ticket and a balance. Neither does he dispute nor do you dispute. And you have got a ticket for a journey after 1 month. You go to the railway station, in the platform you stand, the train arrives, your name is written, a berth is reserved for you. Is it truthfulness or untruthfulness? You give a thousand ringgit bill and ask for change. They will give you all change totaling up to 1,000. So is truthfulness right or not? So without truthfulness you can never live in this world. When I ask you who is your father, how many answers are there? Then what is it that you are saying? Truthfulness is a statement of what is present, what is a fact. It can never be otherwise. Truthfulness. And the truthfulness, you should not become corrupt. The whole world may be corrupt, but there should be a few people who are not. We are now living in Kali Yuga according to the Hindu almanac. In Krita Yuga, all people were performing very well. No tuition, no instruction, no command was necessary. Everybody was doing his work or her work loyally, faithfully and effectively. No order, command or persuasion was necessary. That is called, it is Krita Yuga, Krita Krityata. Everybody found fulfillment in what he did and what he wanted. Now that period and era passed. We came to the Treta Yuga, where Kaikeyi, one of the three queens of Dasharatha, became corrupted by her maidservant, her advice. Corruption started from there. When you came to Dwapara Yuga, a whole team, the larger team of Duryodhana, 100 sons and a number of others, they got corrupted. They refused to take the sound advice and gospel given by the grandfather, by the teacher, by other elders of the palace. And ultimately a Mahabharata war precipitated on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. This is all a result of corruption. Now we have come to the Kali Yuga where corruption is more widespread. But understand, as in the Krita Yuga, now also there will be and there are a few people who stand by goodness, virtue, tolerance and all kinds of values that they can think of. By any extent of the people belonging to the opposite category, the right and the well-meaning people should never become shaken, dislodged or timid. Understand it very carefully. So these are the 5 virtues: Kshama, Arjava, Daya, Tosha, Satyam. One is called patience and tolerance, straightforwardness, and then Daya, compassion, then contentment and truthfulness. See, the Hindu scriptures speak about a number of virtues and a number of values. They are so numerous. Swamiji, is it possible to see all of them, read them and practice? No. We have got a synopsis, an epitomized version of all. Ahimsa, Satyam, Asteyam, Shaujam, Indriya, Nigraha. These are the ethical, physical, mental and intellectual restraints and disciplines. Ahimsa, non-hurting. Satyam, truthfulness. Asteyam, not taking any article belonging to the others without their permission. Shauja, external and internal cleanliness. Keep your body and dress clean. Keep the house in which you live clean. Not only the drawing room, but the bathroom and the kitchen also. Keep undergarments, they also should be cleaned. Everything should become clean. And the cleaning should enter into the mental area where you become pure. More and more purity. Like you want pure milk, pure sugar, everything pure. Similarly, your behavior, your character, your interaction should be graced by more and more of purity, refinement. Indriya nigraha, a moderation and a control, a regulation over your senses, 5 in number. Now these are the 5-fold disciplines which are enjoined for all human beings at all times, in all places in the world. Everything else is an extension, an expansion and a multiplication of these. So we have got a beautiful synopsis. Ahimsa, Satyam, Asteyam, Shaujamindriya, Nigraha. Now I come back to the Ashtavakra Samhita real discussion. Yesterday I told you very clearly that the entire creation consists of 6 factors or constituents. How many?
6.
How many?
6.
How many?
6.
And the 5 are outside, visible to all people alike. The first is the earth, solid, water, fluid, air, gaseous, fire representing all forms of energy, and ultimately space or ether. These are the only 5 surrounding us. Nothing more. And there is only a 6th factor. The 6th factor is opposed to these, besides these, and inward to these. Am I clear? All of them are, the 5 are sensorily perceptible. And the 6th one is beyond the sensory perception. It is always inner or inward. And that inward element is the only additional factor in the entire creation and creational display called the universe. The 5 of them are totally inert and insentient. And the 6th is their witness. This is how you distinguish it. The 5 are witnessed, observed, felt and perceived. And the 6th one is the witness, observer, feeler and experiencer. You cannot confuse between them. The 5 are objects in front of you, around you. The 6th one is the subject inside your body. One is inward, the others are outer and outward. The 5 are inert and the 6th is insentient. No, it is sentient. This is the difference between the two. The 5 bhutas, the 5 elements around you, I want you to be very careful. Be attentive. The 5 of them around you has only one role. What is that role or mission? To make you understand the magnitude and potential, the infinitude of what you have within your body. Am I clear? Huh? I don't think. See, the purpose of the objects outside is only to make you understand that you have something within your body called the mind or the mind substance, the consciousness. That consciousness has got so much of power. In order to reveal its power, potential and magnitude, you have the eyes, you have the ears, you have the nose, you have the tongue and you have the skin. The entire world of variety, infinite variety, it is all sensed by 5 organs. The 5 organs sense the entire infinitude of the world objects. Am I clear or not? Yes. Am I clear? Yes. 5 of them. And they cognize the entire infinitude of objects. Now, between the objects perceived and the 5 which are perceiving, you tell me which is greater. No answer. Huh? You are not clear? Shall I get up and talk? See, all the things are inert. They are insentient, lifeless. And the living man with his eyes sees all of them. The things seen are many. They are at different distances, greatly various also. The entire variety, infinite distances, all these are perceived by the small eyes. When your eyes are equipped, empowered to see all this, in the whole process, what is becoming clear to you? The power and potential of the eye or the other? Why are you not responding to me? Am I not clear in what I say? Why is it that you are not answering me? Then why have you come here? Either you say you understand or you say I don't understand. See, I have got small eyes. With the small eyes, I am seeing infinite distances and variety. And none of the things which I am seeing is seeing me. What? When I look at the sun, does the sun see me? No. When I look at the sea, does the sea see me? No. So I am seeing. So I am doing something additional to the sea. All the objects do not see me. But I am seeing the objects and I know that I am seeing. So do I not have something far greater than the objects I see? Yes. Because they don't have the power of vision. I have the power of vision, the power of understanding. And I am able to say from wherever I am that there are infinite objects, infinite variety around me. So this power of perception, the power of cognition, none of the objects in this world has, but I have it. And I am using them in order to know what they are, where they are. It is I who pronounce the world, who describe the world, who decipher the world, and you say that this is so, this is so. Such a verdict, does it ever come from the world of objects? No. Now tell me, who is greater? Now what is actually seeing? Is it the eyes that see? No, not at all. The eyes are only an instrument in our perception. So the presence within our body is employing the eye organ in order to take an imprint or an impression of the objects. So the actual impression is getting formed within my body, in the mind or in the consciousness. So the entire objectude, the objects of the world are present only to make you know the presence and magnitude and potential of your own mind and consciousness. Am I clear or not? Yes. புரிஞ்சுதா உங்களுக்கு? Unless so many objects are placed at different distances, how do I know? How do I know? See, the mirror has got a reflective capacity. How do you know that the mirror has a reflective capacity? You stand 5 feet away from the mirror. You will find a reflection 5 feet inside the mirror. You go on going backward and backward and backward. As you go backward, you will find the reflected image also goes on going backward and backward, and the plain mirror can reflect infinite distance. Am I right or not? Yes. How do you know that it has got such a reflecting capacity? Unless there is an object in front. So the object kept before the mirror, what does it reveal? It reveals the reflective magnitude and potential of the plain mirror. Am I correct or not? Yes. In the same manner, my dear listeners' souls, the objects in this world are only meant to show you, make you understand the potential and magnitude of the inner presence, namely your mind, the consciousness. All the perception is taking place within my mind. The entire objects are imprinted in my mind. So when I see 1,000 people, 1,000 people are imprinted in my mind. When I see 100,000 people, they are going to be imprinted in my mind. So my mind reveals that I have got capacity to see this much, this much, this much. So the entire object universe or objectude is only meant to reveal to the human mind its own potential, magnitude and magnificence. Am I clear? Yes. Now don't use the objects for other purposes. The purpose of the objects is to reveal the greatness of yourself, particularly the greatness of your inner presence. Then Ashtavakra tells Janaka, Yadideham prithakritya chidivishramya tishtasi adhunaiva sukhi shanto bandhamukto bhavishyasi. The discussion is very precise. Yesterday I said, you are not the earth you see, you are not the water you perceive, you are not the air you feel, you are not the fire you comprehend, nor are you the sky and space that you feel and touch. Then who are you? You are their witness. Witness. The witness. The witness and the witnessed can never be the same. The world remains as an object to be witnessed, and you remain their witness. There is no question of the witness becoming the witnessed or the witnessed becoming the witness. The world will continue to remain as objects of perception, and you will continue to be the perceiver, the perceiving substance. The perceiving substance is never going to change to become the objects of the world. So is there going to be a change for you ever in this world? Why am I hearing it only from 2 or 3 people? Then please tell me I am a fool and I don't listen to the talk. See, I want to arouse you, my dear souls, otherwise this discussion will have no purpose. Either you say yes or you no, but please all of you say that. Unless there is a response from the participants, I will not have any motivation to speak further. The witness can never change its character or position. A thing cannot change its character. So the witness continues to be a witness. And the witness and the objects continue to be themselves. There is no question of the object taking the place of the subject and the subject replaced by the objects. So you continue as the witness and the world continues as the witnessed. Will there be any change in you any time in life?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Then what is your problem? You live in any manner you like, interact with the objects, take up any kind of work suitable for you, live and move in this world, doing whatever you find is possible and harmonious for you, make the best of contributions, live successfully, getting enriched every day, understanding that my position is that of the subject. I am the witness, I am the witness, I am the witness, and the world continues to be the witnessed. World can do nothing to me, and I am not going to do anything much to the objects. The Panchabhutas will continue to be as they are, and their witness I am, the sentient I will continue to be the I. No extent of interaction, no extent of objects, nothing in this world is going to change me from my position and status as a witness. They continue to remain in their own orbit, and I continue to remain with my sovereign splendor as the witness. Can you not think and remember in this manner?
Yes.
Can you not think and remember in this manner?
Yes.
Can you not think and remind yourself in this manner?
Yes.
Then where is your problem? All that you do is in vain, in one sense. It is not going to add anything for you. It is not going to bring about any change for you. Therefore, Janaka Maharaja, this is what you have to do. You ask me, what is jnana? How is liberation resulting? And how can dispassion be cultivated? Here, I am telling you the jnana. Can you do this? Can you do this? He asks. Yadi deham prithakritya chiti vishramya tishtasi adhunaiva sukhi shamto bandhamukto bhavishyasi. Yadi, if deham prithakritya, separating the body in your mind. Are you following me?
Yes.
In your mind, there is a body for you. This body is an object. And this object is only sensed and felt by the mind. Mind is the sensor of the body. The body is the inert aggregate, matter, energy aggregate, sensed by the mind. That sensed body, if you can separate in your mind, in your perception, yadi deham prithakritya, my body is only cognized and sensed by me. It is a mass of matter, it is inert, insentient, and you separate it from your mind, and chiti vishramya tishtasi. I am that which perceives the body, cognizes the body. The body remains like this, like a book outside, it is remaining outside me. And that is an object. I am the subject perceiver. Can you thus, my dear king, my dear Janaka, separate in your mind, in your perceptional arena, the gross body which is being perceived as an object, and the perceiving consciousness, namely your mind, as the perceiver, and then be restful in the perceiver. Be restful in the perceiver. Chiti vishramya tishtasi. Take your poise, take your restfulness in the perceiving consciousness, leaving the perceived body to be an object outside. Differentiate between the two and be restful in the consciousness. I am always the perceiver. When I am unhappy, I am not unhappiness. I am the perceiver of unhappiness. When I am happy, I am not the happiness. I only experience the happiness. When I have a thought, I am not the thought, but I am the comprehender or apprehender of the thought. When I am wakeful, I am only sensing and being aware of my wakefulness. When I slept, I only slept. I was witnessing and experiencing the sleep. When I dreamt, I am not the dreamt objects, but I am the perceiver of the objects. All the objects are surrendered and they disappear when we wake up, and I, the sensor, survive. In the dream, I may have conquered, I may have played, I may have done business, I may have gained, I may have lost. All these things become of no consequence when I wake up, because I was not the dreamt, but the dreamer, the waker, and the sleeper. I am not the waking, the dream, the dreamt, nor the sleep. I am I. I am I. I don't exit anywhere. I have never entered anywhere. I remain the ground, the substratum, the witness, the perceiving substance, the perceiver. All the other things are away from me, separate from me, different from me. I overwhelm everything. I am overpowered by nothing. I, the sovereign, inner, splendorous presence, magnificence. There is nothing to surpass me, exceed me, excel me, outwit me. Everything comes to me to be dissolved into my bosom. I am dissolved into nothing. The world is only a perception within my body. I am the perceiver. The perceiver is different from the perceptible or the perceived. This I remains alone. It is the waker, it is the dreamer, it is the sleeper, it is the thinker, it is the experiencer, it is the enjoyer, it is the sufferer, and it is the nothing, it is the everything. Can you remain like this, Janaka? Can you remain like this August assembly? Yadi deham prithakritya chidi vishramya tishtasi adhunaiva, this very moment, sukhi shanto, you will become comfortable and superlatively happy. Bandha mukto bhavishyasi, you will be redeemed of all bondage forever. What is there to bind you? The objects, they remain as objects. You, the subject. Nothing contaminates or stains the subject. The subject is consciousness, unaffectable, untouchable, unstainable, unreachable, unsurpassable, uninvolved, uncreated. It is always present. Nothing else is there. Adhunaiva sukhi shanto bantha mukto bhavishyasi. You will become liberated this very moment, my dear king. Do you have the sharpness of intelligence? Are you sufficiently perceptive to understand these subtle propositions? Can you take your position as the subject, the singular and the sovereign one? Can you discard everything else as separate from you, the objects good for nothing? What can the objects do for the subject? What can the objects do for the subject? You are the consciousness. These are inerts. They are material substances, energial substances. They are transforming, actable and reactable. Nothing is there going to be stationary. Everything is transforming. And you are the ground of the entire transformations. It is you who see the world. The world never sees you. It is powerless. It is useless. It is insentient. It has got no value except the one you give it. I say it is a world and then it becomes the world. I say God, then God becomes God. Are you with me?
Yes.
Huh? Are you?
Yes.
Can I have the confidence?
Yes.
Am I talking to a receptive set of people?
Yes.
Very good. Adhunaiva sukhi shanto bandha mukto bhavishyasi. Janaka, liberation is not to be awaited. Liberation is to be apprehended or comprehended. It is to be experienced. It is not liberation that comes to you. There is an ever liberational presence in you. The presence called consciousness, whose function is mind and mentation, whose function is intelligence and intellection, whose assertion is ego and its functions. It is this one presence that does the whole magic. It works in a subtle manner as mentation, intellection and assertion. It works in a gross manner through the sensations, through the senses as seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting, etc. The source is all one. And it is inside. When you wake up, it is an expression of your own consciousness through the senses. The wakefulness is an extension from you. Your life is an expression of yourself. This expression can be subtle, inner, gross, outer. It is capable of producing the idea that something is outside, another idea that something is inside. The inside and the outside are its notions, its perceptions, its differentiations. The mind alone is there, nothing else is there. Differentiate between the object you see and the subject that you are seeing, and be the subject, remain there, unassailed by the objects, unallured by the objects, always overwhelming. Any impacts that comes to you from the interactional life that you have. Whenever you interact with the objects, the interactions proceed from you, and the interactional impacts are generated by your mind. We only have mind's responses and reactions to external object situations. Am I clear?
Yes.
Not happy. Here is an object, a book, reasonably white color, and there are so many black colors there. All of them form together letters, words, sentences, paragraphs, etc. Using my eyes, I look at the book and I start reading the word as the root of all misery and tries to shun or destroy. So I am reading. Tell me, what is this reading? Is the book reads or I read? The book is only an object, and my reading comes from my own eyes and my own mind's response to the figures and the colors I see. So all interactions are proceeding from you, and the interactional impacts are responses from your own mind to the objects and their interactions. So can any object or does any object enter your body to form an imprint? உங்களுக்கு புரியறதா நான் சொல்றது? Does any object from outside ever enter physically into my system?
No.
Even your child, husband, wife and house. Do they enter?
No.
You only have your own mind's response and reaction to the objects. So if at all you have to assimilate things, you are not to assimilate object things. You are only to assimilate your own mind's reactions and responses to your interactions. Thus, a thought is no other than a mind product. An emotion is no other than an outcome made by the mind, in the mind, of the mind, into the mind. Cannot the large mind, like the ocean, assimilate all the waves that come on the surface in the form of thoughts and emotions? Yes or no?
Yes.
Then what is your complaint? No complaint. Your mind has got sufficient capacity to be at home with all the thoughts, all the emotions, all the reactions. When I see the earth does not enter into my system. My mind forms an imprint of the earth. That imprint remains my mind's. And can I not be at home with what my mind does? No answer. He said that you are so much absorbed in what I talk. Adhunaiva sukhi shanto bandhamukto bhavishyasi. Janaka, liberation you don't have to await. It has to instantaneously dawn in your system by listening to my words of instruction, revelation, illumination, awakening. Right from the beginning, ever since we were born, we were only seeing like an eagle. Only seeing the objects, interacting with them. We have never taken a time to look into the subject from where all these interactions take place and into which the interactional impacts fall. The source and the terminus of the interactions we have never worried. We have been carrying on in the name of education as ornamented idiots and fools. We are teachers, we are professors, we are academicians. Academicians of what? Inert world substances. Not a single word is taught or learned about the subject that we are. All the world is inert objects. Your physics, your chemistry, your anthropology, everything deals with the objects. Where is that education of the subject? Where alone you come. Even the medicine is a science dealing with the object and the inert body. It does not deal with the substance inside. So Janaka, liberation results this very moment if you can separate the two, the perceived and the perceiver, the consciousness and the things which it feels and senses. Dharma dharmau sukham dukkham manasani nate vibho na kartasi na bhoktasi mukta evasi sarvada. Are you liking this discussion? Yes. You may not experience it, but are you able to remain tuned to it? Yes. I am satisfied. Dharma dharmau sukham dukkham manasani nate vibho. Janaka, listen to attentively. Dharma dharmau. We call something righteous, unrighteous, do's, don'ts, etc. Sukham dukkham. Similarly, we call two experiences. Dharma and adharma are value notions. The other are experiences in the mind directly. So, dharma and adharma, a value and its opposite. Another is the sukham dukkham, the experience called comfort, say happiness and misery. Manasani nate vibho. These are only in the mind surface. They are only mind born, mind cooked. What did I say? They are concepts of the mind. They are floating on the mind. They are mind creations, mind products, mind outcomes. And what are you? You are the consciousness. Nate vibho. They do not affect you at all. The sea is very huge and deep. On the surface alone there are waves. Are there waves inside? Will they have their impact? Don't consider that your mind is puny. Your body is there, biological body. The mind is available in this biological body for experience and cognition. But the mind itself is, you are breathing air. That air in your body, is it limited by the body or it is one stretch throughout the earth? Huh? Simply because you breathe the air, it does not become constricted. It is entering through the nostrils, your inner system. But the air itself is widespread. Suppose it was getting separated in your system, you will be stifled to death in that very moment. Because it is connected to that expanse of air. Oxygen is available. Otherwise, if it is only in your body, how can you live? So, if the air is like that, what about the mind? The mind is only the surface expression. It is the wavel portion of the consciousness ocean. Manasani nate vibho. Don't feel constricted by dharma and adharma, sukha and dukkha. Na kartasi. You are not a doer or a performer. Na bhoktasi. You are not the enjoyer or the sufferer. Are you afraid? Or are you happy? Huh? I don't know what to do with my audience. Out of so many people, 2 or 3 tell me, at least I am happy, they say. Manasani nate vibho. You are a vibhu. You are a vibhu. What is meant by vibhu? Extensively present. Extensively present. When I see all of you, you know what is my permeation? Up to the end of the wall. Because all of you I am seeing. So the entire expanse with all the number of people, they are spreading in my mind. So I am expansive. When I see the endless space, I become endless in my dimension. So you are such an infinitely dimensioned person. Manasani nate vibho na kartasi. You don't do anything. When I hold, I am not holding. My hand is holding. If I don't have hand, will I hold? So holding is done by who? By me or my hand? Is my hand myself? Huh? Is my house myself? Is my child myself? Is my earth myself? So I am different from all these things. So my hand is holding. Then why do you say I am holding? Say my hand is holding. Who is speaking? My mouth is speaking. Who is hearing? My ear is hearing. So the seeing is done by the eyes, hearing is done by the ear, speaking is done by the mouth, holding is done by the hand, and walking is done by the legs, thinking is done by the mind, understanding is done by the intelligence, assertion is done by the ego. And what do you do beyond all this? Nothing. Nothing. Do you get me? Yes. Huh? I am raising you from within your body, remaining in the body, to a dimension where all the actions done by the sensory organs, as well as the mind, intelligence and ego, all of them are nullified before truth, transcended by your spiritual, sovereign, noumenon dimension. Mukta eva si sarvada. Let the hands hold, legs walk, eyes see, tongue speak, ears hear, mind think, intelligence understand, ego assert. What of it to me? I am liberated to the core. I am liberated to the core. I am. Not that I have to make myself so. You don't have to make you liberated. You don't have to fetch liberation. You don't have to get at it. But you have to realize that you are ever liberated, ever free. Ever free. Say that. Ever free. Ever free. Ever free. Ever free. Unconditioned. Unconditioned. Huh? This is the truth. What is it that you are speaking? In ignorance we are blabbering. Stop that blabbering and look at your own inside and tell me whether there is anything besides the 6th factor in this world. The 5 are outside Panchabhutas, and inside the Panchabhutic body there is the spiritual abundant presence. Ego drashtasi sarvasya mukta prayosi sarvada ayameva hite bandho drashtaram pashyasitaram. Shall I go ahead? Yes. Ego drashtasi sarvasya. Let the world have multiple objects of multiple kinds, qualities. But for all these multiple qualities, there is only one drashta, one seer, one witness. Let the world produce anything new. They are only to be witnessed by me, the drashta. And the drashta is never enhanced by any object addition in this world. Am I clear or not? Yes. Huh? Yes. I am the witness of everything. Suppose you add to everything of the world many more things, my position is not changing. Whether I see a mustard or a mountain or a sea or the space, my eyes remain the same as the seer. By seeing a mustard, the eyes do not shrink. By seeing a mountain, do they get enlarged? By seeing space, do they become all around? No. The change is only outside. And seeing every change, I remain the changeless. Eko drashtasi sarvasya. You are the constant, ever-remaining seer of all the things in this world. And the drashta never becomes the drishya. The seer never becomes the visible, as a result of which you are ever liberated. Whether you see 10, 100, 10,000, 10 million or 10 billion. What difference does it make in you, the seer? What difference does it make? Nothing. Therefore, mukta prayosi sarvada. You are liberated from the things you perceive. Let the things be anything. When you see wickedness, you don't become wicked. When you see virtue, you don't become virtue. When you go to heaven, you don't become the heaven. When you are driven to hell, you don't become the hell. You always remain the witness, the witness, the witness. And as a witness, you are ever liberated. Then what is your bondage, you know, my dear king? Ayame hite bandho drashtaram pashyasidaram. Your bondage is this. What is that? Drashtaram, the seer. You see as the visible. You are a drashta, the seer. You are considering the seer to be something different, something different. The seer never changes his identity. He never changes his quality or character. He never barters his position. He continues to be inner, the inmost presence in you. And it never changes at all. Whether you live in this world or go away from this world, whether you marry, whether you have children, whether you divorce, anything that you do, nothing is affecting the seer position in you. The problem is that you are sometimes missing the seer and replacing him with the seen. That is the trouble. Trouble. Do not lose this discrimination. Remain always the seer, always the seer. And understand the seer never changes himself. He continues to be the same, continues to be the same, same. Aham kartetyaham mana mahakrishna sitaha naham karteti vishwasa amridam pitva sukhi bhava. Aham kartetyaham mana Maha-Krishna Hidamshidaha. There are so many cobras on the surface of the earth. There is something called the black cobra, the Krishna Sarpa. It is deadly poisonous. If it bites you, you cannot walk 8 steps. Before that, you will fall dead. So you have been bitten, smitten by what? Aham kartetyaham. Are you following me?
Yes.
This is an oriental way of expression, oriental style. Aham kartetyaham mana maha krishna hidamshidaha. O Maharaja, you are seated on the throne, protected well on all sides. But I am very sorry to say that you have been smitten by the black cobra, the king cobra. What is that cobra? Aham kartetyaham mana. You carry in you the notion, I am the doer. And I am the king. This is the cobra that has bitten you. What? You don't understand? All of you are bitten by it. Aham kartetyaham mana. Aham kartetyaham mana. I am the doer. I am the enjoyer. I am the master. I am the mistress. I am this. I am that. I am the third. Aham mana. Bitten by that cobra. This is in the form of a wrong notion, a kind of a wrong self-respect, a self-honor that you are imposing on yourself. What do you have to do? Naham kartedi vishwasamridam pitva. Even this deadly poison of the king cobra, the black cobra, you can cure it, provided Naham kartedi vishwasa amridam. The nectar of the faith that I am not the doer. I am not the doer. And I am not having that wrong respect. I am myself abundant, sufficient, sovereign. I don't require any claim, any honor, any approbation from anybody. I am myself, the witness of the whole universe, of Vaikuntha, of Kailasa. Everything I am the witness of. Such a position that I have. What else do I want? So this faith, spiritual understanding you carry, Sukhi Bhava. Whether you remain on the throne or wander as a mendicant, it matters little. But it is this Vishwasa, drinking this spiritual nectar, as a result of which your doership, respectable feeling that you have, that power and pomp that you are feeling, all of them will be completely negatived, nullified. Become free, relaxed. Be really sovereign, substantial, substantive, and be the substratum of the whole universe. What do you say? At least is it nice to hear?
Yes.
See, I am trying to generate psychological sufficiency in you. A kind of an inner, perpetual, never dwindling affluence in you, abundance in you, abundance. Throw away feelings of penury, poverty. Check. What are you trying to condemn? Everything in this world is sensory. You are the one inside. Your mother delivered your body. She delivered never your consciousness. She never delivered the air. She never delivered the water. She never delivered the earth on which you are living. So what is it that your mother has delivered of? Nothing. It was already there. And it is going to be there. You are the irreducible, the unassailable, the unconquerable, the invincible. You are splendorous, glorious, magnificent, majestic, stupendous, imposing. Everything is a description of your inner personality, never of the body. We shall stop now. Is it okay? That's good. This is Ashtavakra Samhita. We are going to continue the discussion tomorrow, and I hope you will be absorbing the message today. You have already absorbed. Try to ruminate over it and try to understand it and assimilate it. Kartavyamasti namameha na kinchideva stadavyamityati manah bhuvi samstitosmi samshantaya sadada supta dhiyaiva vritya karyam karomi nacha kinchidaham karomi karyam karomi nacha kinchidaham karomi. We shall have the chorus concluding recitation of Om. Take your pose for it. Hari Om. That's very good. I like all of you.